The Texas country music community is mourning the loss of a musician whose name may not have been familiar to everyone, but whose sound was heard by generations of country music fans. Tommy Detamore, a respected pedal steel guitarist, producer, recording engineer, and mentor, has died at the age of 70. Detamore passed away on the 5th of August 2026. His wife, Sandra Detamore, confirmed the news, describing the loss as sudden. And while he often worked behind the scenes, his influence reached far beyond the recording studio. Tommy Detamore built a remarkable career around one of country music's most distinctive instruments, the pedal steel guitar. He grew up in Charlottesville, Virginia, and began playing guitar while he was still in high school. Eventually, his interest turned toward pedal steel, an instrument known for its expressive bends, sustained notes, and unmistakable country sound. Detamore studied with steel guitar master Buddy Charlton, developing the skills that would eventually take him from Virginia to the heart of Texas country music. In 1981, he moved to Texas to work with Darrell McCall. Just 1 year later, he joined Mo Bandy's band. For approximately 7 years, he toured extensively across the United States and Europe. Those years on the road gave Detamore experience that went far beyond simply playing an instrument. He performed on major stages and appeared on programs including the Grand Ole Opry, Hee Haw, and Nashville Now. He also worked with artists such as Johnny Bush, Ronnie Milsap, and Clay Blaker. But Detamore's career was never limited to performing. Over time, he became equally important behind the mixing console and inside the recording studio. That combination, musician, producer, engineer, and teacher, became the foundation of his legacy. In 1991, Tommy Detamore founded Cherry Ridge Studio in Floresville, Texas. The studio became an important home for Texas country, Americana, and traditional country musicians. Instead of simply chasing commercial trends, Detamore helped create a space where artists could preserve the character and identity of their music. His professional biography credits him with engineering, producing, mixing, mastering, and performing on hundreds of recordings. He reportedly engineered and produced more than 150 albums and played steel guitar and other instruments on more than 300 albums. That means his influence was often hidden in plain sight. He wasn't always the person standing in front of the microphone. He was frequently the person helping make the record sound right. Throughout his career, Detamore worked with an extraordinary range of artists. His credits included Ray Price, Jim Lauderdale, Doug Sahm, the Texas Tornadoes, Johnny Bush, Gary P., Nunn, Robert Earl Keen, Raul Malo, Rick Trevino, Sonny Sweeney, and many others. One of his notable technical achievements came through Bill Kirchen's instrumental recording, Poultry in Motion. Detamore engineered and performed on the project, which received a Grammy nomination in the Country Instrumental category. In 2008, the Academy of Western Artists recognized him as Record Producer of the Year. These honors reflected something important about Detamore's career. He wasn't simply preserving old country music. He was helping keep its sound alive. Perhaps one of the most important parts of Tommy Detamore's legacy was his relationship with younger musicians. One example was singer-songwriter Jesse Daniel. Detamore worked with Daniel on the 2020 album Rollin' On, contributing as producer, pedal steel player, engineer, mixer, and mastering engineer. Their collaboration continued with Beyond These Walls in 2021. For Daniel, Detamore was more than a studio professional. He was a mentor. That role became a recurring theme throughout Detamore's career. Artists remembered him not only for his technical knowledge, but also for his willingness to help musicians develop their own sound. That kind of influence can be difficult to measure. It doesn't always appear on a chart. Sometimes it appears years later in the music created by the people you taught. Even shortly before his death, Detamore's contributions were still being recognized. Less than 2 weeks before he passed away, he was named a Hero of Western Swing by the Cowtown Society of Western Music in Wichita Falls, Texas. He was unable to attend the July 25 ceremony, so his friend Michael Markwood accepted the honor on his behalf. It was another recognition of a career dedicated to preserving the musical traditions of Texas and Western swing. And it came at a fitting moment. Because Detamore had spent decades helping those traditions move from one generation to the next. Following his death, fellow musicians remembered Detamore as much for his character as for his musical ability. Sonny Sweeney remembered him as a close friend and mentor. Other longtime collaborators spoke about his exceptional ears, his attention to detail, and his ability to make musicians sound like themselves. His wife Sandra was married to Tommy for 41 years. The couple are survived by their son, Thomas. The family has not publicly disclosed the cause of death, and a community celebration of his life is being planned. For those who knew him, the loss is deeply personal. For Texas country music, it is also the loss of a craftsman who spent decades protecting a musical tradition. Tommy Detamore may not have always been the name printed in the biggest letters on an album cover, but his fingerprints were everywhere. In the steel guitar lines, in the recording room, in the artists he helped, and in the traditional Texas sound he worked so hard to preserve. His passing leaves a quiet space in the world of country music, but the music itself remains. Every note he played, every record he helped create, and every musician he mentored becomes part of the legacy he leaves behind. Tommy Detamore was 70 years old. May his family, friends, and fellow musicians find comfort in the music and memories he leaves behind. If you enjoyed this tribute, subscribe for more stories about the musicians and cultural figures who shaped American music.